Hi everyone. I thought I would shoot a quick video and just talk about the benefits of fruit and a balanced diet. Well, so as many of you know, I have lost 123 pounds. I was almost to 124. I was toggling between that this morning, but still 123 pounds. And so still going down, some days more than others. And so I want to talk about today. I was at a Bible study, and the pastor's wife was saying, she's seen me, lose weight and lose weight and lose weight, and see me before that and everything. And she was saying, but it's not just that. I mean, you look right now, just the weight that you've lost, but your complexion, your eyes. I could see you're so much healthier. You have so much more vibrancy, and I feel that way too. I feel so much better because I eat a lot of whole foods. I eat, not very much of the, more of the, your, some of my, I guess I could get classified as junk food, but some things are, not so junky, but they are, not what I want to have all the time. The pastries and the chocolates and the occasional chicken fried steak. And when I still allow myself once in a blue moon. Well, I haven't had chicken fried steak for over a year, and then I had one. But anyway, they're the not have very often type of thing versus having lots of whole foods that I really enjoy. And as most of you know, if you've listening for a while, I eat a lot of fruit. In fact, I have some right here. See? And I even occasionally have this. Every week or two, I have one of those. Or, something like that has the cane sugar type soda. Just as something a little bit different. And so, for me, yes, I eat quite a lot of carbohydrates. It's at least into the high 40% wise, into occasionally gets close to 70%, but usually it's in the 50-60% range for me most days. And I have the energy. I feel better because I'm getting whole foods type carbohydrates. And yes, I know this has got the refined sugar in it, but I don't have it very often. And so I have the vibrancy. I have some vegetables. I've learned what works well for me, what bloats me up. Obviously, I have protein as well. I have a balanced diet. I have, I've learned not too much meat for me, some, but not too much. I have plenty of Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. I have some eggs. I love tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and onions. Those are like mainstays in the vegetable department. I eat carrots also and different things like that. I sometimes try something a little bit different. Sometimes I have sweet potato. Occasionally I have some plantain chips. I sometimes I have air popcorn or something like that. But I do really well with this diet of, I eat a lot of fruit, some vegetables, and protein, but not too much protein. For me, it's best. But anyway, a balanced type of a diet. There's enough protein. There's enough fat. I'm not going low fat. I usually have somewhere around 30%. Sometimes it's a little lower. Sometimes it's a little higher. Occasionally it'll get down into the teen percentage, but it's one of those days, it kind of varies. But yeah, that balance keeps me feeling like I'm not wanting something, because every time I don't have enough protein, I feel like I want protein, like the sugar diet, remember, and then it felt like, a protein, like meat or cottage cheese or something was like a dessert because it was different from like all the sweetness or whatever. If you don't have enough fat, then, you can feel like something's lacking. If you don't have enough carbohydrates, you feel like something's lacking. So it keeps the cravings at bay. It doesn't mean that I don't ever want whatever, but I don't like crave it majorly. I don't, I don't cheat. I think I mentioned my last video. One time it wasn't just eating a little more of the whole foods because I was a little hungry that day since late August. So that's like, close to 7 months. And so that's that's a good thing. I enjoy it. I feel vibrant. I feel enough energy. Obviously, I have some days when I don't feel quite as much energy as others, but that's just normal life. But mostly, I feel so much more energetic. I take my walks. I enjoy taking my walks. I've learned to speed up a little and all of that. But yeah, the joy of fruit, and I spend quite a lot of money on fruit, my groceries. I get good fruit. I get, like candy grapes, which are a little more expensive, and, the better in season oranges are more to my liking. The pineapples are, a big thing right now. And, yeah, whatever's, if it's on sale and it's really good, yeah, of course I'm going to want it. But, yeah, I just personally find a lot of health benefits in those fruits, because really it's hard to have health problems if you eat fruit. I mean, I suppose it's within the realms if you only eat fruit and you keep on doing that forever. It may not be top choice, but within a balanced diet, you really can't get too much whole fruits. Yeah, the potassium, and Ray Peat talked about this and how okay, so fruits have different. They have some glucose, they have some fructose, and it depends on which fruit. Some of them have a higher amount of fructose, like pomegranates do. They're like, I think it's 70% fructose, and some of them have less. Have more glucose. Depends on which fruit you're talking about. But they have this balance, and the fructose helps moderate the insulin response to some degree, but also it's the potassium. The potassium also helps, as well as insulin, in driving the sugar into the cells, so there's not as much of an insulin response. And so, you don't get those big spikes and everything. So, yeah, I find it extremely helpful. It's hard to overeat fruit, especially whole. We're not talking about dried fruit. I mean, you can have dried fruit, but you can overeat dried fruit sometimes. But your fresh fruit, hard to. A video about harnessing the power of fruit, and having a balanced diet, and it has really made this lady, who is not a spring chicken by any stretch of the imagination, feel a lot more vibrant and healthy. And yeah, and I'll just mention him again, my health coach, who has helped me lose a lot of weight, and has helped me understand the how to use fruit in a balanced diet really, really well, and how to get exercise but not too much, mainly walking, how to use strength training to help me out as I'm losing weight, is Chris Body, Mind, and Spirit, or Chris Body, Mind, Spirit, and I will link him in the description below. And you all have a great day. Goodbye.